much good after that.
All right. Call the meeting to order. Mr. Dennett, will you lead us to the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move.
Second by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning? Good morning, Carl.
Hello, how are you this morning?
Doing well, and you?
I'm doing good. I have two items and they're both gonna be short. How's that?
Sounds like a plan.
Right, the first item is, we had some youth that were recognized, the Youth Award Program, and, I'd like to bring these to you guys because this is really important that, we have young citizens that are recognized. These are, an award that they don't try for, it's an award that they get because they're doing a good job in school or in the public in general, and their parents, their family, their teachers, their counselors, their coaches, they're impressed by their speech and their involvement. So Aberdeen Roncalli Youth Citizens Award went to Bailey Nold and Lucas Smith. Holgate Youth Citizen Awards went to Tara Kaufman and Tilly Gerke. And then the Simmons Youth Citizen Award went to Alex Hogue and Colby Beckling. And then the Aberdeen Christian Citizen Award went to Maxwell Anderson. And then the Youth of the Month is a little bit different. This is one where they have to work hard. They have to have not only citizenship, but they need to be involved in different things such as student government, yearbook activities, musical organizations, debate, theater, athletics, whatever it takes, community service. And this award is actually able to submit an essay on a local level with a chance to receive $600 and move on to a district level with a chance of $1,250 and a national level with a chance of $15,000. And the Youth of the Month awards went to Aberdeen Central Youth was Charlie Hemke. Aberdeen Roncalli Youth of the Month was Ben Bradley. And then the Aberdeen Christian Youth of the Month was Raymond Rodriguez Martinez. And so that's my closing remark, is we have some good kids. And we need to make sure that we remember it's not that bad. We have some really good kids. Mm-hmm. And if it's all right, I'll do my second thing.
Absolutely.
I had the distinct honor of going to the 25th, the 2025 Caddo Area Legislative Banquet last night. It was at the Rooks in Webster, and we had some distinguished guests. One of them was Mike Weiss, the president of the James River Water Development District, and sometimes we take for granted the people that are in our own room. And we had Senator Glenn Velhauer, who's on appropriations there, Representative Nick Fosness, a brand new legislator, he was there. And then Senator Assistant Majority Leader Carl Perry from District 3 was there. And other people like Angela Eilers, who is Executive Director for the Conservative District, and Josh Wagner, who's another one of the really high up people. But there were a lot of people doing a lot of things with conservation. They had Brown, Clark, Coddington, Day, Duell, Grant, Hamlin, Marshall, Roberts, and Spink there. So I thought that was pretty good. And because I know that the boss over in the corner will say, do you have a copy of that? And I brought a copy of that, and also one of the youth, okay? And thank you very much for giving me the time. I think it's really important to recognize the fact that Aberdeen and Brown County is recognized in a lot of circles. And when you're recognized for conservation, that's really good, because water, air, and the things that we have as far as the beauty of this area, conservation makes a big difference.
You bet.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Carl. Anyone else have anything? Yes, sir. Good morning, Tim.
Yeah, thank you, Tim Hannigan with the Aberdeen Development Corporation. Just want to thank those for this body for talking about the data centers and the wind ordinance. Send it back down to planning. I know Mike, there's some long meetings there, but appreciate that work. I think we ended up in a much better spot. I didn't get everything that I asked for, but that's okay. Sometimes we don't. So really just thank the body and thank the dialogue to get where we're at, and hopefully keeps us in the game.
Okay.
So
Thank you. Anyone else? Online, on the phone? Nobody else in the room? We'll move on. Next up, Rachel Kipley, Fairgrounds Parks Manager, opening some bids for rodeo stock contractors. Good morning.
Good, I'm good, how are you?
Good. We have an envelope here that feels like it's got something in it,
That's
so.
good.
That is good.
More rather than less.
The more the merrier.
All right, notice hereby given that sealed bids will be received in the chamber of the Brown County Board of Commissioners at the Brown County Courthouse Annex, 25 Market Street, Suite 1, Aberdeen, South Dakota, until the hour of 8:45 a.m. on October 21st, 2025, and at said time and place, all bids will be publicly opened, read, and considered by the Brown County Commissioners. Project being rodeo stock contractors for 2026, 27, and 28 at the Dakota Bank Stampede Rodeo at the Brown County Fair located at the fairgrounds. We need the envelope looking at.
The 4 bids? Looks like.
1, 2, 5.
Oh, wow, that's a nice turnout, thank you everybody for that.
First one is Bailey Pro Rodeo. Please find attached our bid for the requested RFP. The total for the 3 years is $157,500. So their annual bid, it looks like, is the same. For 2026, it's $52,500 and does not increase. So $52,500 for each of the 3 years. Bailey Pro Rodeo, and it is Shane Gunderson, and they're out of North Dakota. That's who we had the last 3 years.
Current contract amount is offhand?
Really good
Can I ask
question.
that? I'm just
I
curious.
thought it was like 45 or 48,000.
Okay. Just
I
curious.
can get that to you though.
That's fine, thank you.
Second one, Big Bucks Pro Rodeo. You might be familiar, these are the folks, I believe, check. That do our Bolorama in the spring. I don't have the same sheet, but it looks like right here. Price escalation, 2026 is 55,000. 2027 is 55,000 times 1.03, so they're giving you a 1.03 escalator for a total of 2027 would be 56,650. 2028 would be 58,349.50. We did not have that price. And it looks like they might have a number that they will guarantee for stock running through, but that there might be extra. We'll have to read through that one. But those are the totals. And we got okay, Dakota Rodeo. Total for 3 years is $109,000. First year's $35,000. Then 2027 would be $36,500. 28 would be $37,500 for the 109,000. And I believe the address on here is Oklahoma. Tyson Fowler's the name, and I did talk to him yesterday. Wanted to make sure that we received this. They're the ones that do Crystal Springs Rodeo, Clear Lake.
Oh, okay. That's a big one.
Yeah. And then we got Fedig Pro Rodeo. Breakdowns on rough stock, time stock. They got an additional proposal for another option. The first bid, a 3-year total of $315,250. So their 2026 would be $100,000. 2027, $105,000. And 2028, $110,250. Signed by Dale Kling, Vedic Pro Rodeo, and it's a 701 number, so I think it's North Dakota.
Dakota? Okay.
And the last one is Barnes PRCA Rodeo, signed by Weston Barnes. And Weston has a Peterson, Iowa address. Total 3 years is $165,000. Sum for the services in 26 is $52,500. 27 is $55,000. And 28 is $57,500, so they go up $2,500 a year, for a total of $165,000. And then there's also information in here about how many hotel rooms they would need and things like that. But I guess like normal, I would just ask for a motion to defer it a week so I can confer with the Fair Board and Rodeo Committee and come back next week.
Moved. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Denner, to defer a decision on the rodeo bids for a week. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's good to get multiple.
Yeah.
And then I did have, if you guys had any questions under your consent calendar, is the ticket recommendation for... Oh, you did? Okay.
It's under
Awesome.
you, yeah.
Next.
So there was a copy in your packet. Is there any questions on that? We'd already discussed a little bit the mega pass increase. Fair Board is also looking at just the package tickets and then making Wednesday through Saturdays single concert tickets uniform. In the past, we've kind of done some smaller on the weekdays artists and then gotten bigger as you get to the weekend. That is not seeming to be the case anymore. It's kind of the entertainment and Fair Board's mindset strategy this year is one big headliner every night and then a very small opener, trying to do it that way this year, so. And then, I think you guys did this last year, $30,000 increase in what we actually pay out for the artists themselves. And so this year, yeah, it's shaping up to be an amazing lineup, so.
Already working on it?
We got 2 confirmations, so we'll be coming to you shortly with those,
Good.
so.
They're working on it the next day.
Yeah.
So I guess if you guys are okay with it, I guess a motion if you see fit to approve the pricings for tickets.
I know there was quite a bit of discussion at the Fair Board meeting, kind of back and forth, and the pros and cons, and the consensus was to maybe increase smaller amounts more often than the bigger increases, so not wait quite as long before raising, so that's
Yeah.
appropriate.
I think it's awesome to have big headliners, you know.
Yep.
That sounds really good. I'll move that.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Appreciate it, and they never take those increases lightly.
Yeah,
Like,
we
did you
appreciate the careful deliberation and thoughtful approach to doing that.
I think this past year, the lineup reflected anything we would do with ticket prices.
Justification, you mean?
Yeah,
That it was-
yeah, I just think the concerts were very good
Good.
this past year, so.
Cool, anything else for me? All right, I'll get these out to board, and we'll talk next week.
Thanks for
Thank you,
doing
guys.
All right, next up, first reading of ordinances.
These are amended ordinance. First one is number 302 for wind energy systems. Notice of hearing of Brown County Commission regarding amendment to Brown County Ordinance Title 4, amendment to wind energy systems, to Brown County Title 4 zoning ordinance by replacing chapter 4.36 wind energy systems with the proposed changes all adopted by ordinances 302 as amended in Title 4 zoning ordinance of Brown County, South Dakota.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 302? I know in the packet there was a recommendation by Scott Vader on one or the other, I can't remember which one, but the change that we
Was
need
it,
to make.
was it a correction of a word or
Right,
something?
right, it's setback distance. One was for setback and the other one's for noise. I'd have to look at that.
I didn't bring that email, and I'm
Might
trying
have
to
been for the data
remember.
center.
Yeah, I think that might have been the data center, I just wanna make sure we don't miss it, so.
There you go.
For the data center.
Data center, okay, we don't need to worry about it on this one then.
Okay.
All right, anyone here to speak to ordinance 302? First reading. Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, motion carries.
Okay, amended ordinance 303 for the data center. Notice of hearing of the Brown County Commission regarding amendment to Brown County Ordinance Title 4, a new ordinance data center being added to the Brown County Title 4 zoning ordinances of Brown County Chapter 4.01, definitions Chapter 4.06, or 4.16, Highway Industrial District, in addition to Title 4 zoning ordinance of the Brown County with Chapter 4.38, data center, all adopted by ordinances 303.
Okay, so on this one, the information that we got from Scott Vader is, in the design standard portion of the proposed data center ordinance, the 1 mile separation may be reduced to not less than 1/2 mile regarding the design standard, and then in the noise portion, the reduction with a waiver should probably be not less than 1/2 mile also, rather than the 1/4 mile as it's currently shown. So since this is first reading, those two items apparently were overlooked in the draft of the ordinances, so.
Scott, could you give me like a quick rundown of what what that 1/2 mile exception might look like, rather than just doing a mile across the board? Is there an example you could use where we use that 1/2 mile deal?
From, like, sensitive properties.
Well, right, it's the mile from sensitive properties, correct, but then the board can reduce it to a 1/2 mile? Would there be, is there a specific
If they're,
sentiment behind that?
if the decibel levels are below 75 at the property line, and then also if, there'd be a waiver sign,
By the homeowner, or by the sensitive
neighboring
property?
property,
Yeah.
or that property that's gonna have the windmill, so there's two options there.
This one's on the data center. Yeah, not the windmills.
Or,
You said windmill.
I knew what you meant.
Just wanna make sure we're talking
So,
about the data.
so it's more for if said property owner would agree to it, the 1/2 mile rather than a mile.
yeah, there's set distances, and then in order to reduce that, basically you'd need to be in agreement. And
But it also has a noise threshold.
If they meet the noise threshold, it can be within a 1/2 mile. Noise threshold is 75 at the end of the property line of the data center.
And 75 is like a refrigerator or something, isn't it, they say?
It's louder than that. That is a DeWalt vacuum, I can tell you that. Actually, that would be 76. It is not that.
Not as loud as
It's not as loud as that.
I didn't have that.
But it is a DeWalt.
You'd need a 5 mile setback.
Yeah.
For the data center.
You wanna demonstrate?
So it's a DeWalt vacuum, and that's the hand, the big shop vac, is what it would be. But that's at their property
So
line,
that's
not
a
at,
1/2 mile away from a shop vac would be the threshold on that.
yes, you'd be a 1/2 mile, they can be a 1/2 mile from like your house or something like church or whatever on that, but it's not, it is at their property line, they have to be 75 at that, and then it is a 1/2 mile.
From the structure itself.
Just a question there. What would, like, a larger data center, what would the decibel level be, like, at the Ellendale plant? Do we have any idea what that would be like? Like, is 75 above average, below average, normal? Like, was there any discussion about that? Go ahead.
Well, it accommodates because there's design differences as well as, intended purposes which drive that. And having toured Ellendale, they have, it's been there for a number of years.
a Bitcoin center on that original site, which by their nature are much noisier than the standard data centers are. And so it accommodates the fact that, you know, there's emerging and changing technology, design concepts, and the rest of these kinds of things, that at a lower noise threshold can be a little more lenient, because you can expect it's going to be less disruptive to potential neighbors, whereas depending on the design concept and the structure, the way it's going to be put together and the noise it might generate, may need to have a little bit more buffer. So it will provide some of that flexibility, I believe, into the ordinance to accommodate those different types of potential improvements.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
if you're right with me speaking, yeah, a Bitcoin center is going to be about 90 decibels, roughly at the source, a little bit away from the source, where a traditional AI factory, like we're thinking of thinking of Ellendale, their new stuff is probably well under the 75. They will have HVAC equipment, just like any industrial plant would, and that's where they can factor into their design where to put that as well. If they put it, you know, opposite a sensitive property, it's going to help as well, so.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Do we want to just incorporate those recommended changes into the draft that we're approving today?
I prefer that we do that.
Lynn, do you want that a separate motion, or can we just do it?
Continue.
Okay.
Move.
Okay, motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. Any further discussion? Anyone have any question on what we're doing here today?
Contrary to popular belief, we try to be reasonable.
We do our best. Might take a while, but we eventually get there, hopefully. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
I did one quick second.
You bet.
Just want to quick thank the Planning and Zoning Office, the Planning and Zoning Board, not because it's because I want it, but for the time, and everybody that showed up, because that's a big thing, to have people show up the first time around. Nobody really showed up, so you're kind of just going off of everything else. So it's nice when people actually get involved, and then you can come out with something or whatever, but the office and the board really did a great job, so thank you. Agreed.
And thank you to the public for being on top of it and staying on top of it and making us aware of some recommended changes, and I think it worked out well for everyone, so thank you, all involved. All right, next up, consent calendar. Lynn?
Approval of the general meeting minutes for October 14th.
Move. Second. Motion by Dennert, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Motion by Gage,
Second.
second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignment.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
We're gonna miss those.
All good things must come to an end, yeah. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We've had a request, Carl, go ahead.
Just a question, if you know, on the decibel level, I understand that, but if you put up sound barriers, would that make it so that, being at a half mile would be better because you've, blocked the sound? Have you guys talked about that?
Yeah, the ordinance says 75 decibels at the property line, so say you had a loud source of noise, but you put a sound barrier and you got it down to 75, then...
Okay.
Then, yeah.
So you guys went through that, that's good. That makes sense.
All right, any other business, any other questions? Oh, yes. Veterans Day is on November 11th, so we have chosen to not have a commission meeting that week since it's on a Tuesday, so don't show up Wednesday or Tuesday the 11th.
You can, but you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, the doors will be
I
locked.
was gonna say, I think I might be out of the school on the 11th.
Yep.
Usually Central's got a nice event that takes place on
Yep,
the 11th.
Central always does a nice job with their program. Anything else? We've had requests to go into executive session for personnel
Legal.
and legal.
Move.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in executive. We're out of exec, back in session with no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the commission this morning? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Dinger,
Second.
second by Weeds. Good job, Dinger.
Got him!
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I'll let you.
We are adjourned.